best motor. You got Caterpillar, you got Cummins, and you got the Detroit. If you ask any one driver, they're gonna tell you what they like. So I'm gonna make a video on what I like. In my 5 years of driving experience, what motors are good? What motors have been good for me? And I'm gonna have to say, if you've been watching my channel, you already know what I'm gonna say. But for the ones that haven't been watching, just started watching, Caterpillar is my go-to. Caterpillar is my go-to motor, especially if I'm buying. Alright? If it's my truck, if I'm buying, that motherfucker better have a Caterpillar in it. Now let's talk about why I like Caterpillar. For one, as hard as I've been running, when I say hard, I'm talking about gas pedal all the way down to the fucking ground. Don't even let up. Gas mileage per gallon, we ain't even thinking about no gas miles per gallon. We just talking about wide open, all out. You know. Man. Being wide open like that. The only thing I ever had to do on those motors was just make sure they had coolant and make sure they had oil. That's pretty much it. As long as I had those two things, as long as I was feeding the motor what it wanted, those two things, I was good. It would do everything it could, right? And I never had any issues with it. Never had a problem with those issues. I mean, with those motors. That pretty much sums it up. That sums it up. You know, I can't say anything else about it. It's just simple. You know why I like Caterpillar, because they run like a motherfucker and they don't break. Like I said, when I was in the oil field, North Dakota, I ran that KW. I'm talking about I ran that thing. I ran it hard. I'm talking about I would run it. Like I said, I would max it out from point A to point B, from loader to well. I would have that fuel pedal all the way down to the ground. I wouldn't even let up. And the only thing it would ask me every week, you know, was it was a 6NZ too. It was a 6NZ Caterpillar, blacktop, best of the best. And the only thing it asked was coolant and oil. That was it. Now that being said, I had to add a lot of coolant to that thing. That thing was probably, you know, something real wrong with it. I don't know. I don't give a shit. It wasn't my truck. I was just running it, and me just being the runner I was for the truck and the owner, they didn't give me no issues. So, Cummins, I got a Cummins, but I had to use Cummins, and I haven't had any luck with it. If you had to ask me, it's a piece of shit. From talking to the mechanics and doing my research, one of the things that are issues with the Cummins ISX, I don't give a fuck if it's an ISX or a big Cam 3, the one we got at Capone, they have problems with the heads, right? They have problem with the heads, not with the head. Is it the heads or I don't know? You do your research, man. It's something where one of the rods, something about the rods and the heads or some shit. I don't know. Do your research, but now, and being at the shop where I'm at, They got a lot of Cummins, man, and they got Cummins parts all over the fucking place. Cummins blocks all over the place. I don't know if it's the mechanics that are fucking blowing the fucking motors up, or the motors just blowing themselves up. But they got a few blocks at the shop where they got a few ISXs just laying around because they've been shot to hell. You know what I mean? So, and then I had a story. Mechanic was telling me a story. A guy, he had tuned up his ISX. He just leased on with the company that I'm rolling for. And he fucked around and he had tuned the bitch up, right? He had tuned his ISX up, and I think he ran like less than a month. And then I guess the mechanic had to take the GPS out of his truck, and because he said he wasn't gonna run for a little while. I don't know. Long story short, he blew up his fucking motor. So I don't hear any stories about bitches blowing up their motors when they tuning up a Caterpillar, but I'm hearing stories of motherfuckers tuning up an ISX and they blowing up shit. So Cummins is a no-go for me. I would say thumbs down for Cummins, but you know, I've only had an experience with a Cummins that was already fucked up with Cummins, so you know, I can't really talk and say too much about Cummins because I had a Cummins. I think I had a Cummins or a DD15. I'm not sure. In the 2020 Freightliner I had when I was over the road a few months ago. I don't know. Well, let's just stick with what we know. And what we know is Caterpillar is top dog. Caterpillar is Tro. Caterpillar is your #1 go-to. Caterpillar don't break. Caterpillar is Caterpillar. You know, them motherfuckers, man. If you look, it's common sense too, right? Common sense tells you Caterpillar shit is fucking unbreakable, unbeatable. You know what I mean? I should say unbreakable, unbeatable. But more like, you know, dependable, strong, tough. You see a Caterpillar front end loader or a Caterpillar big equipment that you see, you know, that you see digging up dirt, or you know, you see these huge equipments, man. You know what I'm talking about? The little Tonka toys, the yellow Tonka toy trucks we grew up playing with, man. Them motherfuckers are for real, and they all got Caterpillars in them, man. You know, so those things are fucking huge, man. You see all the, can you imagine how big the motors are in them things? It's just, they are tough, man. So looking at the equipment they're used to making, and then them making a motor, come on, man. That's like a fucking, that's like for me when I started betting, when I used to bet, right, on boxing. My handicap was Tony Tucker. If you don't know who the fuck Tony Tucker is, look him up. He's the only motherfucker that went 12 rounds with Mike Tyson. He's the guy that taught me how to box. And you know, I would always call him right before a fight. I'd be like, hey man, what do you think about this fighter? He'd give me the stats real quick. He'd be like, hey, you know, I would go with, I remember when I called one time when Roy Jones Jr. was fighting. I said, all right, man, who am I picking? I'm going with Junior, or am I going to go with this one? He's like, nah, go with Junior. You know? I lost myself with the analogy here. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, that's like, oh, so back to Tony. So one day, I was betting, I guess he was fighting De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather. This is before I knew anything about boxing. And he's like, oh, man, you don't know about Floyd? I'm like, nah, man. He's like, oh, bro, he don't lose. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, he don't lose. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. He's like, yeah, man, he doesn't lose. I said, man, look, if he don't fucking lose, I'm gonna take you out to dinner. So I put like, I think I had like $3,000 on the fight, man. It was like 3,000 to 1. So I bet 3,000 to get back 1,000. So anyways, long story short, I won. And ever since then, I put my money on Mayweather. I put my whole goddamn life savings on Mayweather. And I don't lose with Mayweather, you know what I mean? So anyways, my point is, if you're talking about Caterpillar, it's like, it's a no-brainer, man. You ain't gonna lose with Caterpillar. You know, you fuck around, you put your goddamn life savings on Caterpillar, there's a good chance, man, that motherfucker gonna run. And another thing too, let's talk about numbers here. Like, if you buy a Cummins, right? If you buy a factory brand new Cummins, if you ask them what the warranty is or the lifespan or whatever it is, I think it's like 500,000 miles, right? You're supposed to get out of this thing. the guy back in North Dakota, he's like, man, he was telling me a story about that, and I guess somebody was looking for motors, and he was calling for numbers for miles, and I guess Cummins has said, yeah, 500,000 miles, and he's like, man, you can just go ahead and take that motherfucking piece of shit out of my truck. He's like, 500,000 miles, that ain't shit. I can go down the street and get me a goddamn Caterpillar and do 1.5 million miles. What the fuck you talking about? So, there you have it too. The numbers are huge. You know, you get 500,000 plus miles with the Caterpillar than you will Cummins. So it's a fucking no-brainer, man. You know, but hey, to each its own. To each its own. You know, do your own thing. But for me, my channel, we're gonna say Caterpillar. I'm gonna say Caterpillar. Caterpillar all fucking day long. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. Court adjourned. Court adjourned. Shit. Yeah. Caterpillar where it's at, man. That's just my experience. Like I said, I've never had any problems with them. Now that I own 2 trucks, and one of them has a Caterpillar, the other one's gonna have a Caterpillar. You know, I don't give a fuck if it's too expensive. People always talk about expensive. Forget about fucking expense, man. You know, but that's just me. That's just me. I don't give a fuck about the price. I want the best. I want the fucking best, and I want to make sure that motherfucker run like the best. You know what I mean? Whatever I put to that motherfucker, it just get it and go. I ain't got to worry about shit breaking. You know what I mean? I'm worried about power. That bitch got more power than you can ever have in a goddamn fucking truck motor, right? So give me the power, give me the reliability, and give me the dependability, and I'm gonna be with you all the way. You know, you got my fucking funding, you got my support. You got my money as a customer. Damn right. Caterpillar all day long.